the anti-butterfly harmonic pattern indicator, which is offered for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can download the indicator file for MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms and run it on your chart. Traders can also read this page to learn about how the indicator works and its functionality. From the Navigator section, we select the indicator file and run the indicator by dragging the file onto the chart. Once the indicator is placed on the chart, it begins to detect and draw the anti-bat harmonic pattern on the price chart. Traders who are looking to identify this pattern on the chart can use the anti-bat harmonic pattern indicator to detect it, and based on point D, which in the harmonic pattern is considered the probable reversal zone or point, known as the PRZ, they can enter a buy or sell trade in the market. In the settings section, under the Input tab, there are options available for us, and in the first part, we can simply set the minimum wavelength. Here it is set to 5 by default. This option is based on the zigzag indicator, which has 3 parameters: the first parameter, the second parameter, and the third parameter. Here we can adjust the first parameter, while the other 2 parameters are hard-coded as 3 and 3 in the calculations. In the next section, we can set the number of candles to be used for identifying and calculating Fibonacci ratios and harmonic pattern points, which is set to 100 candles by default. This means that from point D, it moves back 100 candles and examines those candles. To identify point C, it examines 100 candles backward from point C to find point B, and from point B, it goes back 100 candles, and from A to X, and finally, it draws the harmonic pattern. In the next section, we can enable or disable the display of the harmonic pattern lines. In the next section, we can enable or disable the break pivot status, which is enabled by default. If I set this section to false, I can specify the distance between the harmonic pattern pivot and the break pivot in the lower part, which is based on pipettes, and here it is set to 100 pipettes. By confirming the settings, we see that only one pattern is identified for me, and the patterns that have been broken are not displayed. To better understand the current status of this particular option, in this section, after the price moves downward and a harmonic pattern is identified at the top, the X point here has been broken for us. And after that, the price has continued to move even further downwards. And in order to identify more suitable patterns on the chart where no breakouts have occurred, we can use the break pivot option, and in the lower section we can also set the breakout distance value. In the next section there is the shift option, which is set to 2 by default. This means that after point D is formed, it moves forward by 2 candles and then it checks the harmonic pattern. If I set it to 0, the pattern will be checked and ultimately formed as soon as the D point candle closes. In the next 2 sections, I can enable or disable the display of bullish and bearish harmonic patterns. I can also set the drawing style, which can be chosen from 5 options: solid, dash, dot, and dash, dot. By default, it is set to dash. In the next section, I can adjust the line thickness, which is set to 1 by default. And if I set this option to a value greater than 1, the indicator will automatically switch the drawing style to solid. In the next section, I can change the color of the bearish harmonic pattern, the color of the bullish harmonic pattern, and the color of the harmonic pattern label to any color I want. Just make sure to note that in the MetaTrader 5 platform, the first two options are different for us, and the second option is based on the pivot. That is, in MetaTrader 4, it is based on candles, which by default is set to 100 candles. From point D, the indicator examines 100 candles backward and looks for the Fibonacci ratio at point C. Then again, from point C, it examines 100 candles backward. To identify point B, it goes from B to A and from A to X. In MetaTrader 5, however, this option is based on pivots. That means if I set the value to 10 here, the indicator will examine 10 pivots from point D, and within these pivots, it will look for the Fibonacci ratio from C to B, from B to A, and finally it will search for X. The next point you need to pay attention to is the values you set in the first two options. The larger the values of these two options, the larger the harmonic patterns that will be identified. To ensure that the indicator identifies patterns with more appropriate ratios, it's better to enter more suitable values here. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. We'd be happy if you share your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.